This is Johnny Jones, your AFG Local 1040 president, just coming to you live from Jaguar Studios here in Fort Worth, Texas. Today is March the 12th, 2025. What has it been the last few days? We've had a lot of changes coming around work. First of all, you can see AFG is still here. You cannot terminate AFGE with a little determination from the Department of Homeland Security. We're still here. I know they're trying to say you can't wear an AFG shirt, jacket, or hat or anything around. Let me tell you something. If you are going into work and you got an AFG jacket on, or you have an AFG hat on, you got earmuffs on, whatever it is, you got an AFG blah, blah, blah. They always trying to say you can't wear that. I said, look, can you wear a Cowboys hat when you come into work? Can you wear this? So that's a freedom of speech. And I'm definitely going to we'll be filing complaints against anybody who attacks an employee who maybe has something that they brought into work. It could be a tote bag or something. But I just wanted to bring up, we had our membership meeting today. Unfortunately, there's no way I'm going to be able to rebroadcast that meeting because of the contents of the meeting and to protect everybody's privacy. There's just no way I'd be able to provide anything in that meeting to those who were not in attendance. Now, of course, we might be able to work on some kind of rebroadcast opportunity on Zoom where anybody can attend. Like, hey, we'll play it for people to attend. Maybe you can listen in. But for right now, I do want to talk about what's going on. Legal action is pending from what we have going on. So in the next 48 hours, be on the lookout for that. I know that we've been talking about e-dues a lot. E-dues is a system. Once you sign up for e-dues, your dues automatically terminate. So if we win our lawsuit, dues are going to start back up for the people who didn't sign the e-dues. And then basically, you would still be able to convert to e-dues, but at any rate, you're not going to get double charged. Okay, if somebody gets double charged, then we'll have to fix it. But I have not seen that. We've done the best we can to make sure the process is up and running. I've had more people that are not a part of the bargaining unit sign up for e-dues than in any time I've ever seen. So basically, I have a lot of management. I have a lot of people that are not part of the bargaining unit joining up. You know why? Because they're afraid of what's going to happen to them. If they can do this to us, TSOs, what's going to happen to them next? They ask themselves. I've got supervisors. I've got inspectors. I've got people even from other departments. They're like, hey, we're signing up at e-dues because we want to make sure that you win your legal action. So I just wanted to let you know, we are getting people from outside. There are other unions. They're coming to help us out in droves. They are preparing to assist us in legal action. For more instantly, the flight attendants who came out and spoke against the actions taken by the department. And if they try to do anything with us, there's going to be other problems that are going to come about, rallies, protests, and potential things that they might do. I can't speak for what the airlines are going to do for the flight attendants, but I can tell you they were definitely involved, what's going on. I also want to talk about these HCAMs. There's 2 HCAMs that came out. And I know that some people have seen them, sometimes some people haven't. But, for one, the airport's having a shift bid coming up, both of them. Your seniority didn't really change, but there's a few things in there that is going to change. One of those things, you're going to bid for a shift, but in that HCAM that management put out, there's nothing that stops them from changing your shifts. There's no prohibition. So, for that being said, like, say, for instance, we had this little issue we were talking about with the STIs. And if they're trying to change your hours, 2 hours here, 2 hours there, everybody's going to be on variable shifts. So they can just change your schedules at will, but short notice. Okay. Because they are trying to make this so flexible. And they promised me, we're going to take care of them. We're going to take care of the employees. I need to ask yourself this. Ask yourself this question. Why would they get rid of a contract? And then they're like, well, we're going to take care of you better than a contract that they agreed to. So I want you to ask yourself, why would you get rid of the contract? Because you want to make sure that you don't have the same levels of rights and protections that you had under the contract. And I can guarantee you, the contract versus this ACAM, nowhere even close. This ACAMs are 28 pages long. contract was almost 200 pages. So I can't do a side-by-side comparison of what it is, but we're going to touch on some of the highlights. The first thing we're going to touch on is going to be the call out for sick leave procedure. So I'm going to pull up that document right fast, and I want everybody to get a chance to to read on it. So we had this HCAM that was issued on March 11th, and we're going to talk about, well, Johnny Boy wasn't feeling so good today. And we're going to say this is the section D on sick leave. I'm sick. I'm going to call out. Well, unfortunately, documentation for absences of 3 workdays or less. Under the contract, you could self-certify. Okay. So if you called out for less than 3 days, you could self-certify. Supervisors, and let's go to 9A. Supervisors and other designated management officials have the authority to request administratively acceptable documentation for sick leave absences of 3 workdays or less. Wow. How do you feel about that? So if you call out one day, they're like, we have the authority to request your sick leave. No, even if you didn't need one in the past, they're taking care of you. They're taking good care of you, guys. You can call out one day, they're going to want to note. 9B, management may accept employee self-certification for absences of 3 days or less. If the administratively acceptable documentation is required for absences of 3 days or less, employees should, under normal circumstances, be notified in advance of this requirement. An employee whose leave record indicates possible abuse of sick leave may be required to submit medical certificate, or other acceptable documentation in support of any future sick leave, regardless of length. Management will notify the employee of this requirement in advance. Basically, what they're saying is that they want you to they want to ask you for a doctor's note, and they have the right to ask you for a doctor's note of almost any time that they would ask for it. So they'll be like, hey, next time you call out sick, you need to bring a note. Or if you had a kid that got sick 2 Mondays in a row, oh, looks like you got a pattern of calling out on Mondays. Oh, yeah, you need to bring a note next time. So it's going to be wide varying, and it's going to be open to favoritism. This is unfortunately the world we live in. And I also want to talk about the next part of the other HCAM. If you guys should be able to see this. We're going to talk about the HCAM that was issued here at the top, March 11th, issued by Jason Nelson. He's the assistant director of one of the deputy, a guy making a lot of money up at headquarters, and he's signing these policies for you. Some guy you never know. But Johnny Jones. A lot of people shared bad stuff about me, but that's okay. I really don't care at this point. So we're going to talk about your shift bid. Nothing really changed in the seniority process. So let's get down. This should be up here. Oh, I apologize. It's not as organized as your contract because they had to slide this all together. You're seeing entry on duty date for the purpose of this appendix. An employee's began employment with TSO. TSA is reflected as their SF50. We recommend you download a copy of your SF50 and keep a copy of that. Of course, your bid lines are going to be done up by certain things. Let's go down here. I'm just trying to show you guys how to navigate this. There should be a Control F, so you can Control F, and you search the document. So let's go to uniforms. Yeah, so let's go down to uniform. I know there's a lot of questions about this, and it gets into if you're on the checkpoint, shorts are not allowed at all. Polo shirts are still going to be allowed in baggage. If you're an STI, there's a lot of things that's still in here that you have to go through and find all these things. If people have specific questions, I would definitely be reaching out to, you can still reach out to your union because we're still here. We have members paying on e-dues. We're going to represent you. We may not be able to have the name. Hey, we're AFGE. We're going to say I'm Johnny Jones. I'm going to represent this employee. They're still going to have to set up a new grievance process. So if you guys have had agreements in process, they're all paused right now. So we're going to do the best we can to the legal monies we're seeking are going to cost extreme amounts of money, and there's even more and more orders coming out by the day. The attack on your workplace rights is unconstitutional. It's a freedom of speech violation. Your right to assembly. There's many things going on behind the scenes that it's very sad and shameful that we're being treated this way. We show up and make sure that 2.5 million people every single day get to their destination safe. But I rest assured to you, local 1040 members, and hopefully you signed up to EDUs, this is one of the most important things you can do because not only are you going to be signed up for EDUs, but you're also signed up to continue to have protections from the union. If you don't sign up for EDUs, we will not be able to represent you in the future. And if you get walked out the door, there will be nothing I can do to help you because the dues will stop on this paycheck. I don't believe they're going to be here. I'm asking you and I'm encouraging you to sign up to EDUs because I will not be able to help you yet again. I'm telling you. The AFGE and our local will have no choice but to deny representation, even if you were a dues paying member before. It will be too late. And I assure you that these things, they're going to ask you who's your representative. You have the right to choose a person to represent you. We're just waiting to see what this process is, but hopefully everything gets stopped in the coming few days or a week. But I'm Johnny Jones. I'm always going to be here for you. I was elected your president 3 or 4 months ago, and I'm the man that's going to continue to work for you, even if I'm back on the floor. I was on the floor before I was in this position. I was doing this work from 2014 to 2021 on the floor working every day. When I get home, I work 4 hours a day on the behind the scenes doing other things. Nothing's going to change. I'm going to be here for you. I'm going to make sure you also know that our local has authorized money to assist in the legal action being taken against us at this membership meeting. We are preparing to fight. Things are going to happen. We're going to be here for you. I would also ask that if you have any questions, please reach out to your executive board. We're still your executive board. The union is still here. DHS cannot take away your union. The only way your union disappears is if you don't want to be a part of it, you don't pay the union dues, and you don't participate, then the union is gone. And if the union is gone, then these policies and directives are going to stay in place forever. So I encourage you to join your EDUs. I'm here for you guys. I know this is just we are in totally uncharted waters on all these different fronts. Our brothers and sisters at the VA, EPA, Department of Education are all under siege. And if we allow one to fall, the other fall, it's a domino effect. And then it'll go to the private sector, in which you'll have no unions there at all protecting you, making sure you get fair pay, you get overtime pay. People actually believe that you're going to get tax-free overtime. That is so ridiculous. It's not going to happen. And if they do it, it's going to be to the benefit of the corporation somehow. But I rest assured, we will continue this fight. I know this video is a little long, and I'm just trying to make you informed. We're the next membership meeting will be a special meeting, most likely in the next coming weeks after things are resolved, one way or the other. That way we can continuously update you on what's happening. And I encourage you and implore you to hit the link below in the chat, or you already know how to sign up at EDUs. It's afge.org/EDUs. It'll take you there, and you can go through your AFG local is 1040. You know your airport code, and we're just here for you. And I hope that you understand that these policies and directives that are coming out are not in your favor. If you look at the contract, another thing you want to talk about is shift trades. If you've been given an LOR, you are no longer able to do a shift trade. If you've been suspended, you're no longer able to do a shift trade. You have to been off that for 1 year, according to the policy. So there's so many things to do. Please join up to EDU, send us a message, ask us some questions about this HCAM, and we'll do the best we can to answer it. So I'm Johnny Jones, I'm your local 1040 president. I'm also your Council 100 secretary treasurer. Our union is intact. We stay together. We win. If we fall apart, it's over. It is over, over, over. It is time for us to unite like we've never united before and becoming stronger together. Because if we don't, we will all fall together. It's not just one person going to be able to hold the rope. We need everybody coming arm to arm and supporting other unions. We're going to go out on the weekends and I'm going to be getting things together. We're going to have rallies at airports. Be ready to get on the front lines. If we were enemies in the past, we don't have an option. We need to become together and be friends in the future. You can't put things in the past and continue. So if you guys need anything, you reach out. We'll do the best we can. And this is Johnny Jones signing out of Jaguar Studios, Fort Worth, Texas. Be on the lookout for more videos as we come alive. I'll see you out in the field at the airports. And if I'm in my uniform, say hello. Thanks, guys.